Hi, this is Kathy from Gadget Stop 321, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing the notebooks that I'll be taking to the St. Louis Pen Show and I'll have available at my table. First, I've got an old day timer that I use to just hold a bunch of notebooks, notepads that I've collected. So, I'll have that. I'll have an A5 size arc planner. This is a green leather cover. And I've got some to-do lists in it, a few to-do lists, some lined paper, some dot grid. I'll leave the writing samples in there that I did. It might be useful to someone to see how the paper performs with fountain pen ink. And I've got another A5 size notebook with the just poly cover. It's a little beat up. The green is in pretty good shape, the green leather, but it's got some lined paper in it. I've got an insert with some sticky notes. I've got an opened, partially used package of dot grid paper, lined paper unopened, and graph paper unopened. These leather arc notebooks are really durable. I carried this to school for a couple years. I had planner inserts in it, and it has really held up well. And the only flaw on it is a little scuff here in the corner, and that scuff may have been there when I got it. Let me focus in on that, because I noticed that little scuff really early on and it's never gotten any worse. So these are really durable, and I will include another package of the to-do list notes with that, and I'll include a package with the full size. I've got a red full size, and it has a little bit of to-do list paper, a little bit of lined paper, a little bit of graph paper, a couple of poly folders, and I've got an opened package of lined paper, 2 open packages of lined paper, but not much used out of either one. And like I said, I'll include a package of to-do lists with the full size also. I've got my passport size traveler's notebook. It's the one that is branded Midori. I got this before I even started using fountain pens. It has the original notebook in it. I always used pocket-sized notebooks like field notes and the little pocket-sized moleskin notebooks. And I also used the little small Apica notebooks. But the original notebook, I've got some writing samples in it. But that's all. And I've got, it's not the Traveler's branded zipper pouch. It's one I got off of Amazon. If I remember the name, or if I look it up, I'll put it on here. It's kind of a rough material, but I like it because it's kind of stiff and it holds its shape. But I also have the little plastic zipper pouch, the actual Traveler's notebook branded, and I've got a few inserts. I've got the graph, 80 pages, another one of the plain notebooks, the kind that comes in a traveler's notebook, 80 pages, and a blank. This one only has 64 pages, so I think it's like sketch paper or something. And I've got the matching brown pen loop, and I've got the box, the original box, and the little linen bag that it originally came in. I've got the long, narrow Maromon Puo notebook, and it has the sticky note insert. Let me zoom back out. The sticky note insert, quite a bit of graph paper, a clear top loading folder, a couple of craft folders, and a package of lined paper. I think it looks like I've used a little bit of that lined paper. I've got a Kokio idea notebook. I think these grids are like 3 millimeters. They're pretty tight. I never did use it. It came with my Kokio Jibun Techo, and I haven't even done, I haven't even done any writing samples in it, but I love that Kokio paper. I've got a Filofax clipbook with a bunch of different types of Filofax paper. And I've got some writing samples here in the back. I've got a Namosini notepad holder. It's the one that's got 5 pockets. I've used just a little bit of the paper. I don't think I've used any of the paper in this one. I had another notebook. I had a Rhodia notebook that I kept in here. I went ahead and tore this off. I was planning on starting to use this, but I ended up using a Rhodia notepad, but I kept the little page that I tore off of there. You can use it as blotting paper. I have an A4 size of this, and I'm keeping it. This is a A5 size Lehit Lab Aqua Drops. I had trouble finding the black. You can always, it's easier to find the different colors, but I bought some inserts, and it's got the lined inserts that I think came with it, and then I added some graph paper. And let's see, I think I've got a writing sample here in the back. I also have a little notebook size. I think I'm going to sell these together because I also have the hole punch that I can sell all this together as a set. Next, I've got a Filofax A5 size notebook. It's the kind that for the A5 size, you can either use the Filofax punch or you can use an arc punch. Now, you can't do that with the A5 size. They're just slightly different, but with the smaller notebooks, even though the spacing is slightly different, I've had good luck. I've got an arc punch, and I'm able to punch my own paper because right now I punched some Rhodia graph paper. That's what I have in here right now. Let's see. Yeah, no writing sample. I've just got some Rhodia paper, and it's got the dividers, and one of the dividers has a pocket. It's got the little ruler that you can pull in and out. Now, that's Rhodia paper that is in here, and I used this at school for about a semester. When I went back for a semester, I would use it for taking notes and planning. But I have some Filofax paper. I've got some lined. This is open. I've got some blank. It's open. Part of it is used. And I've got some graph paper. This is all Filofax paper. I forget what the name of this little A5 size notebook cover is, but it's made by Kokio, and it's kind of a woven material, but it's got a front pocket, a back pocket. In fact, it's all one pocket. It just wraps around. It's got a nice elastic closure. It's got a couple of bookmarks that are attached to the notebook cover. It's got this plastic where you can insert, like if you want to have a notebook here in the front, it can be a side opening notebook that you insert the front cover in here, or it can be a notepad that you insert the back cover up here. When I used this, I used the A5 size Apica, the little thin Apica notebooks, and just slid the cover in there. You can fit that and this, and at the same time, I had a moleskin, the little paper cover, I think it's called a Kahir, tucked in the back so it can hold quite a bit. And this has the same, I did a writing sample in the back of this one, has the same little plastic pocket here where you can insert a notebook in sideways or vertically. Nice pin loop here, elastic pin loop. Now I've got some little notebooks. This is a little notepad, My Neighbor Totoro. I've got a matching zebra Dell guard that I'll sell those two together. I'll include this with the Dell guard. A little folder that I had intended to use this for putting pictures in and journaling along with pictures. I never did do it. I did a writing sample back when I didn't have any sense and I would include a Sharpie on the writing test, but Sharpie goes through everything and it went through to one of the papers, to the next page. But let's see, I think I did a writing sample in the back too. So I've used up some of the paper, but I've got some pages, some little folders that you can put pictures in. Those two will go together. I've got an unopened, large size set of field notes. This set is called Signature because they've got multiple signatures in them, 3 signatures in each. This is nice thick paper. I didn't open this one, the plain one, but the lined, I did open it and I've used one of them, and it's got nice thick paper that works well with fountain pens. This was a little thing that came with it, so I just left it in this notebook. But I used the other one of this as a travel journal, and that was pretty nice. All right, I think that's all my notebooks. I think that's about everything. I may have a few other little odds and ends that I come across that I'll bring, but I'll just mention one more time, if you happen to be at the St. Louis Pen Show and you've seen some of my videos, stop by and say hi. Whether or not you want to buy anything, I think it'll be kind of fun to meet people that we've met on YouTube.